are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easily pretty. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that this dress is skin tight is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside. Because I want you to like that. The only reason I can do tonight is because I really like you. And I can no longer hide it. What do I remember your mind then? The laces that goes over your digest. Why just tell me that you feel like I do?
Hi, this is Jessica Javens Talk, Season 1. Welcome to my channel, and today we have an amazing guest. But before that, I want to remind you this is a podcast to help you transform your life inside out into a life you truly love. Today's guest is very special to my heart. This person was able to change his life and completely mix it up from one thing to a completely different life, which is the life that he today truly loves. And we're going to find out more. I can't wait for you to meet him. He is my only true brother, Jason Javens. Welcome, Jason.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you so much, Jessica, for having me on your podcast. This is it's exciting. I can't wait to chat.
Yes, thank you so much I know you're busy, and I know it's a Sunday, but we're at it. So I'm happy we made this work. I want the people to get to know you a little bit. So before we dive in deep, share a little bit about you.
Well, the story is long. I'm going on 50 this year, right? But let's give it to you in a nutshell. So basically, I'm a former banker, right? I worked for 18 years in banking in Florida. And I turned my hobby into an actual business, into a profession. So, and my hobby was wine. So now I'm officially in the business of wine.
Nice. So, did you have to do any study on this? Like, what was entitled for you? What do you have to do to get to this point?
You have to drink a lot of wine. No, moderation. But I told you wine was my hobby, right? So for years, I was just always going to wine tasting events whenever I could. I have that passion, right, to have somebody tell me the story behind that wine. I did many wine courses. I am a certified sommelier. So there is a little bit of study, because there's a little bit of knowledge that has to go into that, right? Besides obviously sniffing and drinking wine. It really helps when you know a little bit about the regions, a little bit about the soil and things like that, right? It all kind of paints a picture.
That's awesome. Can you tell me what the definition or what it means to be a sommelier?
So technically, if you're saying sommelier, it's somebody who not only knows about wine, but is also into serving wine. That's why at a restaurant, you say, you call the sommelier, or we call it somm for short, because that's the expert in wine. And he's also, or he or she, are also going to serve the wine. So there's that whole little etiquette and little practice about how to serve the wine, right? So that's a true sommelier. I always felt uncomfortable of calling myself a sommelier, even though I am certified for that, because I never had that service, right? I was never in the wine serving business. To me, it was always just a hobby. I did all the courses and everything just for my own personal amusement and knowledge, right? But now, going on to this next part of my life, which is opening our wine bar in Fort Lauderdale, I get to officially call myself or at least be more comfortable calling myself a sommelier.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about how this happened, because I know you were in banking for a very long time. You were very successful at it. You grew very much so to an executive position. But at the same time, on your free time and so forth, what you truly enjoyed doing and talking about was wine. And those were one of our best conversations. I learned so much from you. How did that transition happen for you to now have a huge following following, opening a bar and living something that you probably didn't expect, and now you're living, kind of your dream.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of an interesting story, right? Because as you said, I mean, anybody that works in banking knows you work a lot. The pressure is humongous, but I always found time to kind of follow my passion, right? So as I grew into the wine world, I says, well, why not do wine tastings myself instead of only attending them, but actually doing them? So I started doing that on the side as a gig, but as really mostly for fun. So start doing wine classes, especially for beginners, introducing different styles of wine and explaining it and all that stuff, right? So I started doing that on the side, and a group of three clients of mine who were partners. They were my clients for a few years in banking. We got closer, and we're always chatting and sometimes hanging out and things like that. And the idea, I actually did one of these wine tasting events for some of their clients, and it kind of worked out. They all really liked it, and we started talking more about the possibility of maybe doing wine tasting events at another business that they own, which is a club in Fort Lauderdale. And quickly the idea kind of matured into, well, let's just open a wine bar. So I do not come from hospitality. They do. They own other businesses within that realm, right? So I'm coming in with the wine knowledge, and they're coming in with the business or the hospitality business knowledge, right? And it's something that I'm definitely going to be on the road to learning more of.
What I love about this story is when you say it, there's a couple of things actually, but I'll start with one. What I love is that just the fact that you had a clear vision and understanding that this is your passion, you started to act in direction to that dream. You didn't know how, you didn't know exactly, but you knew that this was your passion. That was clear. And that's how you started. You started talking about it. You started just doing some wine, what's the name? Tastings, yeah. And then wine. That took to the next step, and then to the next step, and now look at this. It's a huge accomplishment, and congratulations for this. I can't wait for the inauguration day. That's one thing that I love. The other thing that I love is I've been to many wine tastings, many all over. But the one that you deliver is so passionate and so much more informative than any other wine tastings that I've been. And I think that is a huge difference of your success is exactly because of that passion, and this is what I want people to feel here while they're watching us, is for them to understand that it's very important for you to have a clear understanding of what really calls to your heart, because that's when it's actually burning is when you actually start taking the steps towards it. Because if it's not burning inside of you, you're going to say, you're going to leave it aside. You're just going to keep going with your life and so forth. So I really like that. So tell me, how do you feel right now with all of this that you shared with us?
Oh, I feel great, right? I mean, like you said, I'm going into actually being able to work on my passion, work on my dream. And, the cliche saying is, right, work with what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Yeah. Although it is hard work, but it's done at a different manner, So when I started actually, because in social media years and years ago, I would always post maybe a bottle of wine or what I'm eating and my travels, and it was my personal account. But 2018 is when I started my wine account. Wine Seeker, and that's really when the road started, and that's when things opened up, because my following started growing. I started doing a lot of collaborations with wineries and things like that. So you start getting the name out, and then from there jumping into doing these wine presentations and things like that, and wine tasting events. Everything went very organically. Although in the back of my mind, I always had the dream of maybe owning a wine bar or maybe a wine shop or something where I could interact with people and say, listen, this is something that really excites me. But you don't know how, right? Because you're like, okay, maybe I don't have the money to invest, or how am I going to start? I don't have the experience. And I have to say, I kind of went with the flow, took an opportunity of all the things that were laid before me, And so everything really happened organically. I mean, even us with the process now of opening the bar, we've been a year and a half, probably a little over a year and a half on this road, right? Waiting for this and waiting for that, and then the owners of the property, and then the city and the county and all this stuff. So there's an anxiety building there. But right now that we're probably a month away from opening, it's things start heating up. So. And when I say anxiety, obviously it's the good anxiety, right? That anticipation and that desire to just start running.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited too. I can't wait. I love that you said that, because that's exactly what I failed to do for a big chunk of my life. I needed to know the how before I acted. I needed to plan everything before I acted. I had to have everything, all the whole blueprint all done, or else I wouldn't start. And that created procrastination. That created, me settling, me being where I am and not start the movement. So once you actually start, although you don't know, that's where my life started to change too. And I can relate to you completely, because that's what you did. And that's what I want to inspire people to do.
Yeah. It's something that really worked in my favor is, well, being in banking, being in the retail banking side and all of that, the number one thing that you do is networking, right? So I was always out. So I was a firm believer of not only getting to know people, but introducing people and surrounding myself. Sounds selfish, but it's not, because you're also giving, but surrounding myself with people that could benefit me as well, as much as I could benefit them. So within this is when you see your ideas starting to progress, but people maybe sharing a little bit about of their experience with you, or introducing you to somebody that opens another door. So networking I'm a firm believer of it. I invested a lot of time in networking, and practically all these 18 years that I was in banking, I was always networking, and I heard a bank exec say one time that if you want to be successful in business development and networking and things like that, is never have lunch alone. So I always kept that in mind, and I always tried to, if I have a 5-day week, I always try to maybe 2 or 3 lunches a week, have it with a client or with a partner or with a collaborator or something like that, to kind of sit down where you're not exactly in a business moment, but you get to exchange some ideas. So I grew a lot with that, and like to think that also helped some other people achieve what they were looking for. That right there is so important for growth in every aspect, really, because you not only you have the business part, but you're learning, you're getting little gems, little breadcrumbs from each one of the people that you connect, and you're opening doors that you don't even know or imagine. You're just making that opportunity. And I had to adjust to that thinking, because you have to get out of your comfortable zone. You have to be able to make time. You have to put out yourself. And when you're connecting with those people, giving your best, and having that, that you have to be in that vibration, like you said, of giving, so you can also receive. And that is what starts creating opportunities, so you can connect to the right people that have that same vision or mindset, or even higher, that's going to bring you up, and I was many times in my life like, oh no, I have to talk to strangers. Oh no, I have to, get out of here, or I have to drive. I have to take time out of my schedule to do this. And many times, certain events that I've been to, I didn't really have significant connections. So that very easily take you back to that paradigm. Oh, I'm just wasting my time. I didn't have to come here and do this and this and that. Consistency. Tell me about that. That's true. Absolutely. Consistency, because again, another piece of bumper sticker wisdom. It's not who you are, it's who you know, right? So it's getting to know people, because they're the ones that are going to help you grow, just like you're helping other people grow, right? And I remember when I started networking, you're acting outside of your comfort zone. You're out there, you're meeting strangers, people that you've never seen before in your life. What do you do? And networking is an art. It's not just being in a room full of people. And one of the things
that.
that's always my pet peeve is when I'd be in a networking event and somebody just, let's say a realtor, for example, right? Any business, they come up to me and say, "Hi, I'm so and so. Here's my card. If I can help you with anything or anything that anybody else needs with real estate, please call me." And I say, "Okay, thank you," and put their card away. But when you stop and think of it, like, I don't know why. Do you know if my wife is a realtor, if my sister is a realtor, if my best friend is a realtor? And I'm never going to give you any business because I don't know you.
Right. No connection.
I had my business cards in my pocket because at the end of a conversation, I'd give it to people. But I was in networking. I never spoke of business in networking, ever. It's about me. It's about creating a connection with, not it's about me, but it's about creating a connection with me. So what do you like? What do you do? What brought you to Florida? And this and that. It's chit chat. You're getting to know somebody. Then you're setting up maybe a lunch or a coffee at Starbucks or something like that. And then you can sit down and say, "Okay, give me your elevator speech. So what are you all about? What are you trying to accomplish?" Yeah, this is what I'm trying to accomplish. And not looking, the biggest mistake in networking is looking for that immediate sale. Oh, I got to leave with a sale in my back pocket, otherwise I wasted time. Nope. You got to leave knowing at least one more person or having at least set up one more follow-up with with a person, right? And building the relationships. Because you're not going to give me business if you don't like me or don't know me. You're not. It's another cliche. Know, like, and trust is what they all talk about it, right? First, you have to know the person, you have to like the person, and you have to trust the person.
Perfect.
Not that. I would get home from these networking events, flip through my cards, and throw them all in the trash.
I always throw them away too. I only save the one that I connected to.
I had stacks of business cards, but I had a separate little stack with a rubber band around it of these are my golden people. These are the people that are really gonna do something.
So, man, you said so many important things that everybody needs to know. So for the ones that are not there yet, right? They haven't gotten that point. How can they start? What would you recommend?
I would say maybe go to a smaller event, something that's not so big. You walk into a room with 100 people and you're overwhelmed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you're in the corner eating a little cracker, right? And sipping on something.
That was me for years.
Yeah, you're just overwhelmed. No, go to a smaller group and go with somebody. If you have a friend, if you have a business partner, an acquaintance or something like that, say, "Hey, look, there's an event. You want to come with me?" And then both of you kind of build courage off of each other. Maybe if the other person is more outgoing than you are, even better. But then you say, "Okay, we're not going to talk, but at least I have, you go to that side, I go to this side." I don't know, make a little plan. And you know that you're not alone in that. You have somebody else with you that's, and we'll meet up in 20 minutes. And we meet up, "How you doing?" "Oh, I met this, I met that. Let me introduce you to the person I just met." So now, right, so I'm talking obviously about a cold room, somewhere where you don't know anybody,
Right.
If you walk into a networking event, even a larger, it's these chambers of commerce for the city and some of these larger events, and a person or two, gravitate to those people, go talk to them and "Hey, how you doing?" This and that. And it's easier in the circle to go, "Oh, by the way, I'm Jessica," or "I'm Jason," and this and that. And you're introducing yourself and they're helping you kind of get a little warm, feel a little more comfortable.
What would you say is a good icebreaker question to start the conversation?
Ooh, that's a tough one. Most conversations start with small talk. And I've had obviously thousands of those conversations, just talking about, "Wow, what a beautiful place they chose for the networking," or, "Oh my gosh, look at that view," or "the weather today," just really cliche little small talk topics. But I like using humor too, so sometimes I would use that as an icebreaker. Maybe, if there's a little table with some bagels over there that are falling apart, I was like, I'd make like a little crack to the person that's next to me, about how, horrible those bagels look or how sad they look, or I don't know, something like that as an example.
So be observant.
Yeah, and then exactly be observant of your environment. And the person chuckles and, oh, by the way, I'm Jason. Oh, nice to meet you. So what brings you here? So what do you do? Oh, I'm this and that. Oh, okay, I'm in banking. How long have you been in Florida? We have the advantage of being in Florida where no one's from Florida almost. A lot of people, right? I mean, it's a transition state, right? So it's a lot of people from other places. So you get to talk about, so what brought you here and this and that and blah, 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 and just when you notice you've been talking to them for 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. You go to set up, oh man, I'd really like to know a little bit more about you, about your business, and see how I can help you, or how we can help each other with business. Because everybody in there wants to sell. Everybody's a salesperson. But who's buying? Right? So you have to find, maybe the person who's speaking to you sells aloe vera products. Right? Oh, very cool. Oh, I'd like to know a little bit more about your products and things like that. What are the benefits and blah, blah, blah. And maybe make a purchase or something like that. Show that interest, extend that olive branch first, and then see what you get on the back.
Yeah. I've learned so much, because now you can also have a chance to learn about what that person is expert in. So I could talk about aloe vera all day if you let me. You know what I'm saying? And that these people are going to talk as experts about what they do. Like, for instance, I had an amazing conversation with this woman recently about solar panels, and I thought I knew everything about solar panels. She just went on and told me some stuff that I had no idea. So now I feel like, hey, I know a lot about solar panels. I'm just giving you an example. So, and that connection. So now if somebody is looking for that, I had such a connection with her. I'm going to think about, you know what, you need to talk to this woman. She knows everything about it. And just send, because it's just like you said, it's organic. We're going to remember these connections, and these people are going to pop in our minds. And anyways, it's a great thing. I've had so many other people that I met with that, because now they are introducing you. They're reaching out to you because they shared that. So it doesn't stop. And that's the thing. It's not just about that event that you're in. It's the domino effect that it causes.
Absolutely. And once you get into those relationships, and you get a little more comfortable with the person, you also, what I would ask people all the time is, how can I help you? How can I sell your product? Train me to sell what you have.
That's a great question.
That'll help me feel more comfortable, maybe when I'm talking to another client or talking to a family member, friend, or whoever it may be, and say, oh my God, using your solar panel examples, oh my gosh, I just spoke to this person over here. She just gave me a lesson in
wow.
In solar panels. You have to talk to her, because you believe it, I didn't know X, Y, and Z.
Right.
And there you go. And the person will look at you and say, oh my gosh, I want to talk to her, And when I was talking about my products, not only to the person to my networking partner, right, the person that I'm getting acquainted with, but even with my clients, I never had a sales pitch. I was a salesperson for years and years and years, but I never considered myself a salesperson. I'm going to sit down with you, and I'm going to be a free consultant to you. And this is what I'm going to do. And so this is what I can teach you today. So leave a token, in my case,
the tone completely.
Oh, in my case, if you're selling Coke and Pepsi, somebody doesn't like Pepsi, say, hey, try this Coke, and they'll buy a bottle of Coke from you and see if they like it or not, and if they like it, great. If not, they easily flip back to Pepsi. With banking, for example, you're selling a whole relationship. Just because I look nice and I'm smiling, people are going to change their whole banking relationship to you, because it's cumbersome. It's a hassle to do. So I want you to like me today. Maybe we meet up for coffee, do this, do that, because some point down the line, your bank's going to upset you, or you're not going to get what you want. And then you're going to say, oh, you know what? I know Jason. He's a cool guy. Let me talk to him about banking. Let me see what he thinks.
There you go.
And guess what? And if I don't get a sale today, and I get a sale 6 months from today, guess what I'm going to need 6 months from today? A sale, because you need it all the time. So it doesn't matter when it comes in. So don't be anxious. Don't be eager.
I love
that pressure sale, that thing, look, it's got to be today. No,
right.
People like you, and even if it's for a favor, they're going to buy your products.
I love it. It's you said it. Before we wrap up, Jason, what would you like to leave our listeners with? What key points? You mentioned several, but if you had to choose one specific, a takeaway that they can take for today, what would you leave them with this whole experience, right? Of you even being able to partner with people that you connected in your previous career, which is now taking you to opening this beautiful bar in Fort Lauderdale.
Don't be in a rush. Don't close any doors. Right? I am 150% sure, and I know that I'm opening this wine bar now with these partners. If it weren't for them, you know where I'd be? I'd be in banking. So it's not on my laurels. I didn't do this. It's 150% on my partners for a number of different reasons. I'm a small piece of the whole equation, right? So, but I'm there. So the best advice I could give is think positive, right? Get your mindset into, there's no magic, there's nothing like that. It's just try to be as positive as you can. Don't close out any doors. Go have lunch with a person. Even if you say, how can that possibly benefit me? You know, let's say you're selling, I don't know, makeup. I'm not going to buy makeup from you. Okay, maybe to give to my wife or something like that, but I could care less if any of that stuff. So, but I'm going to have lunch with you. Why? Because you might know other people that could benefit me, or I could benefit you or other people that you know, or you could benefit me from other people that I know. All of a sudden you're giving me your spiel about your lipstick, and I'm like, goodness gracious, I have somebody that needs that, you know.
So you're saying basically be open-minded.
Be open-minded, absolutely. Be open-minded.
And positive.
That doesn't make sense right off bat. Be open.
Perfect. I love it. Well, Jason, thank you so much for all of that experience that you shared here today. How can people connect with you?
Well, now this is not Jason the banker anymore, right? So Jason the wine lover and the bar owner. So I'm on Instagram. It's @_wineseeker_. So that's where I give a lot of wine tips and things like that. And obviously now we're opening the bar. Through the Vine is the name of the bar. We also have an Instagram. It's Through the Vine FTL. So we're close to downtown Fort Lauderdale, hopefully opening within the month. And so reach out to me DM me on Instagram. If you want to send me an email, it's my first and last name, jasonjavens @gmail.com. I'll be more than happy to help and connect with you and point anybody in the right
I'm going to put you on the spot. My last little spot. I'm going to put you on the spot. One thing that he does that I absolutely love is I don't know which wine to buy. If I'm having, I don't know, caviar, I don't know which wine pairs good with that. Bingo. He tells me immediately. And he asks you, what is your budget? And he knows already the wine within your budget that's going to be the best match for that. It's absolutely amazing. So he does that, the consulting services too. There you go. I put you on the spot. All right.
Champagne, by the way. Yeah. Champagne is one of the best matches for caviar.
Okay. Thank you. All right. So thank you so much. This episode has been brought by Through the Vine, a bar soon to be open in Fort Lauderdale. It's also brought by Forever Living, the best aloe vera juice in the world that transformed my wellness, and produced by the I Am Beast Network. If you're watching this, click the like button, follow Jason, follow me, subscribe, and share it with your loved ones. My name is Jessica Javens, and this is Jessica Javens Talk.
Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me. 'Cause baby girl, you are so easy, baby. The only reason that I can do tonight is 'cause I know you were invited. The only reason that the stresses can type is 'cause I thought that you would like it. I'm only gone for the secret outside.